Welcome to DIY with Gayle in the Ketchikan Public Library. Today is going to be all about corks. Corks, corks, corks. Whether to boil them or not to boil them. Whether to drill them or not to drill them. Let's take a look at corks. Alrighty, so I've got a pot filled with about 1/3 of water. I've got my corks in a sieve sort of thing that will fit into my pot, like that. It's not really in the water, it's kind of above the water. And then I have a lid that really isn't going to keep anything out, but I thought I'd keep as much in as I can. You know, it's not going to keep all the steam in. But we'll see what happens. It says 10 minutes of a boil, so we'll get her going. And we'll find out if it helps to cut or not. Or to not crumble is what I should say. We don't want them to crumble. Alrighty, we've got a good boil on. You can hear it bubbling away. And I'm not losing too much heat. That's pretty good. Alright, we'll give it its 10 minutes. Here they are, moments out of the boiling water. They appear to have gotten a touch bigger and maybe even a little whiter, I think. Let's see. Got one right here. Okay, this one's fresh out of the box, not been boiled. Definitely, I think, a change in color. And yeah, there is a change in size. So it did make it a little bigger. All right, we'll find out what happens next. All right, we have boiled the corks, and I have actually messed with them a little bit down here on the board. I have a knife, a utility knife. I do not have proper equipment, and that's the first thing I'm going to tell you. Okay, but we're still going to do it. So, as I mentioned a little bit ago, I did find a difference in the size, and let's look at how they cut. I have this crazy little knife here, but it at least lets me show you. With this, I can push and cut, and I'm not pushing extremely hard, and it did cut very nicely. Okay, that is one of the boiled ones. Okay, I'm going to move that one out of the way, and I'm going to come right back here. This is unboiled. Same knife, and a lot of pressure. And I don't know if you could hear it, but you can definitely see it. I have crumbs, and I have break off. Okay, and that doesn't seem to matter. Even if I go super duper slow, I can still hear it. I can even feel it as it goes. Okay, it still looks wonderful. I'd still be able to use it, but I do have chunks off. Okay, can you see the chunks? And I did not get near the chunking on this one. See, my edges are really nice. I'm going to try a piece of sandpaper on that and see what happens next. But I do think that the 10 minutes of boiling makes a difference. And I will tell you, I took one and split it down the middle on the boiled one, and it split. I didn't have to put a lot of pressure on it. I could not split this one as a whole one. Let me try here, and I'm going to stand up. It is really, really a lot of pressure. And I did it. Again, you can see on the edges, and there is some rise up there, but it was really hard, you guys. So I recommend the boiling. Like I said, there was a slight size difference when we were done, just a teeny tiny amount. It also bleached them a little bit. All right, I'm going to see about getting another knife, and we'll be back to make some amazing things out of our corks. So as you can see, I've gotten a few things done here, although I did find playing with corks was not so much fun at first. I did a lot of complaining, but it was because I didn't have the right tools. Well, they weren't the right tools for me anyway. I did try and start with a knife. A knife did not work well. I'm even going to put where I use the drill, which for a person like me, the drill was... Okay, I've used a drill when I was younger, and maybe I had more muscle back then. I don't know, but it'd been a long time. And I'm going to put that in there so you can see it. Just know it was not fun. But I discovered a new tool. And what did I do with it? Here it is. It's a Dremel tool. It actually has all sorts of little different bits, accessories. There we go. I will tell you, I tried drilling into these corks. Like I said, all of that will be in here, all of the craziness that I found. But this, it's amazing. So let's take a peek. I'm just going to hold this up for you to see. So this is my little flower planter. I'm sure you've seen them around. I find them around town with a little magnet on them to put on your refrigerator. This one I happen to paint. Inside of here is a donkey tail. I seem to have lots of little donkey tails floating around because they break off so easily and I can't throw them away. So the first thing I'm going to show you is this little planter. We're going to either do it with the magnet on the back or the little piece of wood on the bottom. And you can purchase these in different sizes. I really liked this for the plant. So all I did was grab up a cork, and this is what they look like when you get going. These are actually ready to have the dirt put in and the little piece of plant. And I will show you exactly how I did that. And I'm going to use one of my corks that I boiled because it is actually softer. Now, on this gadget, you have to push this button and give it a little wiggle so it goes in. Let's see, where is it? There we go. And then you unscrew it, take that little gadget out, and this one is the one that I found I'm having the most success with. It looks like a little grinding thing, then you let go after you tighten. It looks like a little grinder. And then what happens is I turn it on. Now this thing does not have tons of power, so you can't just force it in or it's gonna slow down and stop. So just go a little at a time. Now it does blow up some of the cork stuff, so you might want to wear a mask during this. I did not find that it's actually flying up in my face, so I'm not going to bother with the mask. I did find that laying my cork down and my device down made it much easier on my hands and arms. Like I said, it's kind of fun. I did not have fun with the drill. I didn't feel in control. I think a drill is great if you have the muscle to do it and the know-how. I could have worked on it and gotten the know-how, but it was just too heavy for me. You see, it just keeps going until you get it as deep as you need it. So that's how you do that one. Excuse me. All right. And then I'm going to reach here and grab my plants and pull them forward. So I always have this little planter that has things that have broken off some of my plants. And in here is usually something growing. And we're going to take a look at this one right here. I think that one will fit beautifully in here. So I'm going to take a little bit of this moist dirt and put it in the bottom of my cork. And then I'm going to pull this one up. And right here is its little root. So I want to make sure that is inside of the cork. And then I'm just going to add a little dirt around it. Now, if you were going to do the magnet, a good time would have been before I put the plant in to do the magnet. But on mine, I'm not going to do the magnet, but I will show you how. I do want to say, I want my little guys to be able to stand up when I water them and stuff. And so when I applied my magnet, note where it is on here. It's down low. If you put it up high, your little planter will not stand up, okay? And so put your magnet so your planter will stand up so you can water it or do whatever at the counter that you need to do. So there's my Gayle tip of the day, magnet low, okay? And that's what it will look like on your refrigerator. And then for this one, I'm just going to use hot glue. And on all of my corks today, I have used hot glue as the glue. I do not know how that is going to work out on my trivets. It was recommended on all of the sites that I did my research on, and in the books that I did my research on, was to use the hot glue. Here's one of the trivets I did. This one takes 18 corks. And as you can see, all I did was just glue them together in a pattern. And I think my glue's low enough anyway. Okay, so that's that one. And then I made another trivet too. I'll bring that one forward. This one I really liked. This one, you just laid them. Let me move this so I can lay it down. One sideways, one long ways, one sideways, one long ways, one sideways, and then built up from there. I had fun with this one. It was cool. Okay, so there's my trivet. And then this one is actually a plant holder. And it was fun also. So for this one, and I didn't finish it, I have 2 more up here and 2 more in the bottom to finish so you could see. For this one, all you did was take your hot glue gun and 2 corks and put the corks together like this. And mush them hard so that glue pokes out the sides and stuff, and then just wipe it off. It's not very hot. And then it sets right in between the two. Okay, and I just glue this end and place it here. And I'll do that for you too. Same within the bottom. I did not do the bottom until I was done. So you do the 2 going up, and then we have 2 standing up. See them? So do your 2 here first, and then put your stand-up ones. And of course, you can go taller with this. If you need it to be taller, go for it. And then in my bottom, it fits perfectly. And I'm going to add this one to the bottom. So all I do is down the side where it's going to attach to the bottom corks, and down the other side where it's going to attach to the side of my planter. And it's hot. And it's in. Turn it slightly to make, excuse me, sure that your glue is up against your cork, not your hand. Okay. And this will protect your stuff. Do put your planter in a planter inside of here. I think would work the best. Okay, so that's my planter. As I said, 2 more corks here if you want. If not, and I'm going to show you something funny. So my 18-piece trivet actually works out as an awesome little lid and 1/2 a cork for its top. So I mean, the sky is the limit on this stuff if you're using the glue gun. Okay, so have fun with the glue gun, because for me, the glue gun has been the best part of this. The drilling and whatnot took me a while to figure out. It was rather difficult for me. Now, I'm sure you've seen these. These are sets of 3 corks. They hold your pictures. You can decorate them up any way you like. This is an old button, and because the corks have a little space in there, I was able to put the button in and use the part that you would normally stitch. I was able to just poke in the hole with the hot glue, and I thought it turned out cute. And then this one I'm making for my honey because he loves his dogs, and so we'll poke some wires into that one for him. And then this one I used just whatever I found in my sewing box. And that is the cool thing. If you are able to collect old jewelry and just pieces of this and that, and believe me, this box is full of this and that. I don't even know what's in it. It's been a while since I've been in here. But old earrings, I mean, that you can pull apart and use pieces and parts of. Get yourself a box and start a little collection of that stuff, and then you'll have some really awesome little things that you can add. Now, for the picture, for the wire, my wire is a 20 gauge wire, and I will tell you, it would not push into the cork. Not. It bends. The corks are very, very sturdy. Very sturdy. So for the corks, excuse me, I need to put something under my hot glue gun, otherwise I'm going to have a mess here. There we go. So back to our little device, we put that little doohickey down, turn our little collar thing there that holds it in, and then I'm just going to use a little drill type that pokes in. You can see I've already used it. It's got cork all over it. And all I'm going to do is I just want to be able to drill into the cork to put that wire in. So this is a small enough tip to be able to do that. So I tighten that little collar thing, let my button go. I'm going to turn it on. And then just go make a little hole. And you can hear it, I was pushing too hard, too fast. Let it do its own thing, or you just, end up making it go slow. And you don't have to put a wire in each one of these. You could just do one in one cork if you wanted, and you would be fine. Now I'd like you to see on the side of my wire here, as I said, this is a 20 gauge. And note, they have this little gadget here poked in. Take full advantage of that gadget. That is to keep your wire from taking off. Now stay there. Watch, as I undo the wire, my thumb is on it so it doesn't take off. Otherwise, I'll let go a little. They take off, and you do not want that. So hang on to it because it will take off. Okay, and I'm not quite sure how long this is. I'm just going to cut off a piece, probably make 2 out of. And then I have my little wire cutters that do a fabulous job. And then we'll go back up here and wrap that back on that gadget there. That keeps our wire from taking off. Okay? Once you have your little holes drilled and decide about how long you want this, you can take your needle nose pliers and grab a hold of the end of your wire and start turning. Okay? And I'm only turning this small part in the middle because I want to make sure that it's nice and hidden so I don't get cut on it. And then just go. You can make it any shape you want. A heart, I kind of like just like this. And then poke it in there. I would advise to put a little glue in it. Tacky glue would be perfect. But actually, it stands pretty cool there. I'm going to do this one a little short one too. Again, you just grab the wire with your needle nose pliers and turn. And then once you get it started, come on out and just use your fingers. This one's going to be a little short one. But the school pictures look cool in these. I really like the kids' school pictures in these. And then you can bend them out any old way you like. And your picture just goes in between the little wires here. Okay? So that's how to do those. I've shown you the wrap around them, etc. And with the 3 together, then they sit just beautifully. You could also add them if you wanted to, something like this, which I might do that. That kind of looks cool, doesn't it? Yep, we're doing that right now. I like that. All right, one of the other things that I always see people do with corks is keychains. So we'll have to do one of those too. Oh, I like that. Oh, you guys inspired me, thanks. I like that a lot. All right, the keychain. So for the keychains, you will need a couple of different gadgets. I'm trying to figure out what oh, here it is. It's hiding amongst the corks. So it has this little screw-in eye, which is called a screw eye. Yes, screw eyes, that's what it's called. Okay, so you just take one of those and your cork. I needed cork over here, and decide the fat end or the skinny end. There is a fat end and a skinny end on all of them. It's very small, but a difference, but still. And then just screw that in. Super easy. Okay. And then you need to decide if you wanted a zipper pull or a key ring. And they come in all sorts of different little things. So if you wanted it as a zipper pull for one of the kids' coats or something, you can put a pull on it. If you want it as your key ring, I'm sure you've probably done this before with it. That's all there is to it. Also note, if you wanted to, you could add another one of these and put beads hanging off of the bottom. I don't do beads and stuff because I get stuck on everything. I've mentioned before there's a klutz gene somewhere in there. And so anything that hangs or dangles usually ends up in the door or other places, even long sweaters and car doors. All right, you guys. So I want to also show you these. I'd really like to leave them out. They were supposed to be a pendant necklace type thing. And all of the little directions said to cut your boiled cork, and you could stamp them. All right, I have stamped them and I can't see a thing on it. There is a set of footprints there, but it's very hard to see. So, and that was using a pretty thick black ink, okay? On this one, I thought, well, okay, I'll paint it and then stamp it. No, I still couldn't see the stamping. So I was a little bit disappointed in that. But then I just stuck one of the little hooks in there and said, you know what? I really like this end of the cork. This is an actual end of the cork, and they're smooth and they have a different consistency than the rest of the cork. And so I thought, well, these make cute little earrings just on their own, like that. All right, now the one thing also that I want to say about cutting these, and there is video of me cutting these in here, and you will see that. I could not get them to be evenly, I mean, I couldn't make two the same, okay? It was very difficult, and I worked for a while. I mean, there was a lot more than this. This is one that was cut that was not boiled specifically, and these were boiled and cut, but still getting the exact size that I wanted, or width, that's what I'm trying to say, the width, I couldn't get a consistency with that. So I do want you to know that. Corks, if you ask anybody at work, they'll tell you I did not like corks. And I will tell you I didn't, until I got the glue gun and just went for the glue gun stuff and this little Dremel tool. So if you have the Dremel tool, go for it. If you don't, like I said, I used the drill. I even used this thing called a drill press, you guys. Actually, I didn't touch it. It was a little frightening. I looked at it and he showed me how to do it. No. Okay? So, that's what I've got for today. Play with your corks, but I highly recommend sticking to doing your corks with your hot glue. It's a lot of fun. These trivets, I had a ball with the trivets. And I will say, even making this little plant holder, that was fun. And I can see doing some other things. I'm actually thinking about turning the kids loose on the corks and letting them build little bird houses, maybe, you know, do a hole in the front. I don't think real birds would want to live in it, but it'd still look cute out in the yard. Now for a recap, okay? I found that boiling did make a difference in the look of the cork. First, it took out the wine on the end of the cork. It also shriveled up the edge of the cork a little bit, which I showed you previously a little while ago. So it did make a difference, but if you're just going to use your glue gun, which I highly recommend, you don't really need to worry about it. The Dremel tool went into the boiled cork and the unboiled cork pretty easily. I mean, it wasn't like I had to fight it or anything. For the jewelry that I didn't make, because I obviously didn't have the right equipment. And let me tell you, with the crafts, you do need the right equipment, and finding the right equipment is part of the fun. And at the end of this video, I'm going to leave you a little tidbit into the bloopers, the edits, whatever you want to call it. I hope you enjoy it. So, I'll see you at the library. And remember, we are now open to the public. Miss Rebecca is getting started on the garden. Miss Lisa is still doing the adult craft bags, which are a big hit. I have thoroughly enjoyed the ones I've done, and also the children's library still have their family maker bags and stuff available too. So come on into the library, say hi, we've missed you, and enjoy the blooper. Have it the right way? We're going to find out. Nope.